Hello. Hello and happy Friday. Y'all, I just have to let you know, Morgan made me a dirty chai, which is basically chai, tea, and coffee. Mwah. She made it for the first time yesterday. Actually, I've made a dirty chai. I was the one that introduced her to a dirty chai, but she normally makes our iced coffees in the afternoon, right after lunch. We have an iced coffee. And I guess she's been getting kind of tired of the same old, same old. And she said, I want to do something different. I was like, let's go for it. So she made me a little something different yesterday, put in some vanilla syrup, and it is just perfection. So, yeah, good stuff. How's everybody doing? Let's see. Can I get my mouse to work? I don't know. Oh, just so you know, Bo has abandoned us for the day. So if anything can go wrong, knock on wood, it's not going to. He had some work lunch that he prioritized over us. That's what they do. They tell you they love you, and then they go off to a work lunch. Hello, Katrin and Deborah Sue and Carol Burdette. Hello, hello. Welcome. And I saw some other people waiting over in the waiting room, so I'm glad y'all are here. And for those of you who show up later, I'm glad you're here too. All right, first things first. I have some show and tell, and then we have a giveaway winner to announce. So I wanted to show y'all a couple of things from last weekend. So last Saturday was the Falling into Fiber vendor market over in Cocoa Beach. It was the first annual. They're hoping to make it an annual thing. It was fabulous. I love seeing my Florida people. I didn't get to see all of them, obviously. They tend to stay in their areas, I've noticed. But a lot of the people from over on the north, south, east, the East Coast came by, and it was really fabulous to see everybody. And I just appreciate y'all so much that came by. So Katie brought me this book based on Emma, and it's called Cozy Classics. And so I was going through it, and it's a child's book to teach them words, but it's based on scenes from the storyline. So, I don't know if y'all aren't familiar with Emma, that's the scene where she has found, this is Emma, by the way, she's the lady, and she has a little protege. The protege has an admirer who's a lowly farmer. Emma's like, no, 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 he's not good enough for you. And she has someone else for him. Knightley, the other lead, gets very mad at Emma and says, why? Stay out of their business, because he likes the farmer and he knows the farmer is a good man. So I won't go through the whole thing, but anyway, it has little one word thing. There's another instance where Knightley's mad at Emma because she was rude. And, but anyway, all is, ends well. Emma and Knightley end up together. I probably maybe shouldn't tell you what happens. Obviously, Emma and Knightley end up together. I won't tell you what happens to her protege and the farmer. You have to either watch a movie. There are many Emma versions out there, or read the book. It's a Jane Austen book, by the way. Did I mention that? It's a Jane Austen book. I do love me a Jane Austen book and movie. So, and apparently they do it with a bunch of other things, other books. Oh, they have one for Pride and Prejudice. Oh, that's my favorite. Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion are my two favorite Jane Austen books. So anyway, thank you, Katie. So sweet. And then I made a little purchase. I thought I worked hard enough. Let's see. Oh, hey, Sue. Glad to have you here. And Karen from Tulsa is in the house. And Diane. All right. Finally got my order on Tuesday another mail strike. Well, I'm glad you got your mail. I'm sorry. Tisk, tisk. All right. So there is a group. There's two sisters, and I think I've told y'all about them in the past. Their business is the Fiber Turtles. And they actually, let me get behind the card so you can see it. Trisha and Robin, and they are two sisters. I've known them for, gosh, quite some time, and they're avid knitters, and they also make very cool project bags. So I went by their booth and I got this. I was like, oh, fall, hello. It was tough to decide. They had so many cool designs, but I went with this one. I do love a good, I don't know, what do they call this? Do they have a name for this one? I'm not sure what maybe just a regular project bag, but to me, it's like a little bit like a bucket because it stands. I love a project bag that can stand on its own. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't flop over. So it has that. And then, of course, there is a pocket inside, and they just happen to have a little matching notions case. So I got that too. And as they pointed out, there are actually two cute little pockets on the sides, which for me, I actually like that if I'm in the middle of a project and I have something that, like stitch stoppers or a stitch marker that I need to move, while I'm working on the project, but I know I'm going to need it again in just a little bit. That's perfect for tucking something in that you don't want to get lost, or you don't have to want to, dig through to find it in the larger notions pouch. So it's very cool. And I've resisted using it all week long so I could show it to y'all first, but I intend to put my November Nani Swimo project in here. And it has a cute little button so that you can close it up a little bit if you want to. And so, yeah, they do have a website, brand spanking new website. I looked at it this morning and I didn't see any of this on there, but they did have some other quilted project bags. So my guess is they're working on getting the other project bags up. So keep an eye on them because I'm sure they've got more good stuff coming our way. So they're fabulous. Love them. And yeah, so that's it from last weekend. And hello, Valera. Let's see, so all three paid ladies are here. What more could we want? I love it. Thank y'all for joining in. And then let's see, what else did I want to show y'all? So, okay, I have something. Little backstory. Bo got a kind of a bonus thing at work recently, and they like to do it in these points. So they don't give, I don't know. In this particular instance, it was a bonus in like points that you can spend on this reward website. And he got quite a few, and he was like, I don't need anything. And I was like, what do you mean you don't need anything? You don't want anything. How can you not want anything? I said, you let me on there and I'll go shopping. He's like, yeah, I don't care. So I went on, and there were, I didn't have anything in mind that I was like, I really want this. So I was like, okay, I see what he means. And so I said, you know what? I don't know what I want just yet. So I'm sure, give me a couple days and I'll be like, I want this. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Just then, which I didn't even think about it at the moment, I was having trouble with my Kindle. It was not staying charged, like the battery drained within a day, and it kept happening. And so I was like, I guess my battery must be going bad. And I was like, oh, I can get a new Kindle. So I did. So I got, ordinarily, my previous Kindle was just the Paperwhite. I've had the Kindle Fire in the past, but I just like the Paperwhite. I mean, I'm just on there to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need a bunch of fancy stuff, but he had all these points. So they had this beautiful Color Soft edition. So I may have splurged and got the Color Soft edition. So let me show you. Hang on, it's taking a second. I wake it up. And then I lock mine just in case I ever leave it somewhere. I have never, ever left my Kindle anywhere because I always know where my Kindle is. I probably know where my Kindle is better than I know where my phone is. I'm not sure what that says about me, but there you have it. And I was like, I don't know, am I being wasteful getting the Color Soft? But I have to say, y'all, look at those colors. Aren't they beautiful? Like, it's not bright. I thought it might be like a a tablet where the light is just, I didn't like, to be honest, the Kindle Fire. I think that was what it was called. It was basically like a little tablet, and it was too bright. I just didn't care for it. That's why I went back to the Paperwhite. But I have to say, these colors are very muted and awesome. And so I'm very pleased. And the delivery was, Amazon. It came from Amazon, obviously. And it was delivered the very next day. So I'm in love. And you can see look at I told y'all I'm in a Nora Roberts fix. There you have it. Proof is in the pudding. My current book is called The Obsession. I've noticed that she has, not always in all of her books, but in a lot of her books, she has this thing where it's almost like two books in one, because she'll have like this long backstory, like part one of, either the male or female lead will have something that happened in their childhood. And so she tells that entire story. And that's like the first part of the book. And then you get into the second part where they're an adult. And look at that. Look at these pictures they have on there. And those colors, oh, I just love them. Anyway, not all of her books are like that, but a lot are. So she's so good. So good. So anyway, okay. What else do we need to catch up on? Oh, did you all see that? Is it The Game of Wool? Yes, The Game of Wool with Tom Daly. I know some of us have talked about it, and I think somebody posted a little trailer video in the Swan Stitchers Facebook group. And I think I saw that it's premiering November 2nd on Channel 4. What does that mean? I don't know. I'm guessing it's a BBC channel, Channel 4. So I figure what I'll do is once it's released, I'll either Google it. A lot of times on the Google search, you can find where to watch, and it will tell you where, like what apps and what streaming services have it. So I figure I'll look and see if it's available for me to watch. I'm sure it'll be fun. So, and then, so that's my plan. I don't know if any of y'all have plans to watch it. And then, did anybody watch Mistletoe Murders on Hallmark last week by chance? I did. However, so it came on at 8:00. And I don't know if y'all know this, Bo and I are usually off to bed around 8:30. Now I read, he watches his YouTube channels, but still it's lights out pretty early for us because the alarm is often going off at 5:30. And especially last weekend, because we had to drive all the way over to Cocoa on Saturday. So I'm sitting there watching it, and he had a hockey game he was watching. So I watched it until about 9:00, and then a second episode comes on, and I'm like, oh, they're showing 2 episodes, which would explain why for the first season, it only shows up 3 times on the calendar that they have, but there's 6 episodes. I wondered what was up with that. Well, it's because they're showing 2 episodes on the Friday nights. So yeah, tonight, I bet there's 2 more episodes. And then next Friday, season finale, which means there will be 2 more episodes. They should have said that it comes on at 8 and 9 so that you would see. Anyway, needless to say. Now, I don't have to get up early tomorrow. So tonight, I will watch both episodes. And my review is that it's very cute. It's very good. I like it. I think it's right up my alley. I think it's a good show. So y'all have to let me know if you like it or not. If you've even seen it, you may not have seen it. But if you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's a good show. Okay, what else? All right, our stitch marker winner. Are y'all ready? So here it is. I showed you all these last week. It's hard to see them in here, but I left them on my little table. Oops, so I could show them to you. It's a set of 11. There's only 10 on here if you happen to be counting, because I already stole one of my batch, not of yours, of the winners. So this is 11 of them. So they're skull stitch markers. And I went through all the comments, and the winner is Bobby Jopling. So Bobby, I will get those out in the mail to you. Congratulations. I'll hurry up. Maybe I'll even do that today so that you can, if you want to use them on your project between now and Halloween, you can. Or you can be like me and use them even after Halloween. I love a good small stitch marker like that. I'll stick them on my favorite ones. I have one that I got from Twin Mommy that's it's a tiny bird skull. I don't think it's real, but it looks, it's just a very cool skull. And I use that all the time. So, which I wouldn't think that's not really related to Halloween anyway, although you could say that it is, but I use it all the time just because I love it. That and my Jingle Bell stitch marker. Who doesn't love a stitch marker that jingles? If you don't, then bah humbug. All right, it is time for our Swan projects. Shall we do our Swan parade? Let's do it. I say let's do it. First of all, from last weekend, I wanted y'all to see these. So Karen came by. She hails from the Cocoa Beach area. And so I've told y'all this before about Karen, but if you don't remember, Karen, let's see if I believe she told me she's a fairly new knitter. But get this, y'all. She has a shirt pattern that she's basically designed herself. And this is what she knits over and over. I don't know, does she knit other things or not? So far, this is all I've seen, is that she does this top and she does it in a variety of colorways. So in this particular shirt, she took Ghoul Next Door and paired it with a mustard cotton that she had. And it just looks so good. Love it so much on her. And then she also brought this one that the last time I was there, she had showed me that she was starting on it. Well, she finished it. This one is velveteen at the top there, and then under the mistletoe on the bottom. And it's the same pattern that she just has in her brain and that she knits, and she wears them with leggings and is so cute and adorable. She's amazing. I love her. And then Danielle came by. I haven't seen Danielle in a while. She showed off her Novelli. This is with Christmas Tree Farm and Jun Ho. And then the purple down at the bottom is one from her stash. So she did such a good job and looks great. If y'all think about it, keep Danielle in your thoughts and prayers because she's getting ready to go through a pretty intense surgery coming up. So we wish her the very best. And then I got a message from Angela that she is using the Hot Blooded Gradient Color Cake and she's making the Abigail fairy dress. And if I'm not wrong, this is crochet. That looks like crochet to me, but how gorgeous is that dress coming out? I love it. I'm so glad she messaged. And then Sue, look at these awesome socks, y'all, that Sue made. I absolutely love those stripes. And she spaced them. They look perfect to me. Very cool. And she said, so it's a vanilla sock and the main colorway is called Faded Blue. And I'm trying to remember where that came from. I'm gonna have to go look through my dye recipes because I love that blue, but I'm not automatically remembering from whence it came. So I'm gonna have to look it up. Faded blue, and then her stripes are Red Letter Day. She's got swan white, leopard print is in there. Gerbera and Cafe Latte are all in there. How good do those look? Oh, I love it so much. All right, Anne. So this is actually, I probably should have done this the other way, but that's okay. This is her extra light bright shirt number 3. And she's striping Everyday Pink with You Are My Sunshine. How good does it look? I think it looks fabulous. I love it so much. And then here is her extra light bright number 2, which we've seen it. I think we've seen it finished, but she's never modeled it for us. How good does she look? It's like the perfect fit. And Anne just had a birthday, by the way. So happy birthday, Anne. And then she also did these socks. They are called the Color Palette socks. I'll link the pattern in the show notes. But she's using everything from Tulips in Bloom, Birds of a Feather, Lily, Heliotrope, Bunny, and Chicky are all those colors that she's striping in there. Looks so good. I love it. And then Linda has two pairs of socks to show. This first one is called the Vanilla Bean, is the name of the pattern, and she's using Pretty in Pink. How cool is that? It looks so good. And then she also did her first pair of DK socks. And I don't know, Linda, are you on here? I knew you said you were going to try to be, because you said something about the toe, that you followed the pattern, but it seems a little narrower. So I was going to ask you which pattern you used. Interesting. Because, yeah, I'm curious. I've only done a few DK weight socks myself, but I think have I done a pair for I think I've done a pair for myself. I know I have done some for Bo, and I haven't done enough. Like if I do a fingering weight sock for Bo, I know exactly how many stitches to cast on. I always use a size 1 needle for fingering. And I do know that I use a size 3. I'm chuckling because I was having a conversation with Karen and Lisa, Karen Gutowski and Lisa. I don't want to mispronounce Lisa's last name, but Kubelis, I think that's it. But I might be saying it wrong. Sorry, Lisa. Anyway, we were all talking about needle sizes for socks. And anyway, teasing Lisa about if size 1 is for fingering and size 3 is for DK, then what do you use size 2 for? Anyway, so yeah, so I always use a size 3, but I don't remember like the stitch cast on. I know for me, fingering weight, I like a 64 stitch. I can get by with a 56, but I usually do a 64. And then for Bo, I do 72 stitches, or, and sometimes some stitches are just a little bit off of that because of their, stitch count, but whatever is closest to that is what I go with. So anyway, I'll have to message Linda and ask her about that. So, all right, what have I been working on? Well, I have noticed something. If I have a weekend event, I don't get a ton of knitting done. And I think it's because, first of all, I didn't even take any knitting along last weekend. I knew that I was going to be swamped because I had 3 sessions of a sock blank dye experience going on while Bo ran the booth, which is a good thing he was there because I would not have been able to do that if he hadn't been there. And so I just knew, I was like, I don't have time to knit. And so I didn't even take any knitting along. I did take my Kindle. It goes everywhere with me. What can I say? So, and then I found, I think because if I'm working, I was telling Katie that I struggle sometimes if I have a weekend event taking time off because, okay, so Sunday, I was so pooped. I did take Sunday off, but I didn't get a ton of knitting done. And then it's almost like I have to kind of recover. So I end up, I don't know, is my brain not in the right space or what? So I just don't get as much knitting done. But I do have off the next 2 weekends. So that means I should get a ton of knitting done. So this is what I have gotten done. I've gotten this far on my I'm Batty for Halloween socks. And I'm almost done with the heel. I'm literally I'm doing the shadow wrap and I'm literally going back. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 triple stitches left on either side to do, and then I'll be done. And I'm going to be honest, I was toying with the idea of not continuing the color work pattern on the feet. And it's very possible that I may not still, just because of time. I want to finish these, and Bo already has put in a request for his next pair of socks. Plus, I have this weekend, I need to cast on. There's it's not a new base. There's a base of a pack of yarn that I was sent that is very similar to one of my current bases that I thought I was going to send back, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to try this. I want to dye it up and knit with it and see if it potentially is. And it's hard to improve. I mean, there's a reason I choose the bases that I have, but I'm always willing to look at another base that might be an improvement on something that I have in stock. So I'm going to knit with this yarn this weekend. I'm not going to go into details. I told my Dying to Knit people about it, and I'll tell you all more about it next week about what I've come up with, because I'm going to knit with this yarn. So I have to cake that up this weekend. And I also want to finish up my Triagonal shawl. So, because by the way, this is you have 1 week left to post pictures, whips, FOs, whatever, for October's fiber challenge, Socktober. Fortunately, we can knit socks at any time, but that is this month's fiber challenge. And the winner of that will get a sock set, which I realized today I have yet to pick the prize for that. It'll be a sock set. So I'll do that, and I'll try to remember to post a picture of it this week of what you'll get. But anyway, so then you also have a week left to post any whip and FO pictures of your Triagonal shawl. So this is mine. This is where I'm at. I really would like to get done with this before I start my Nani Swimo sweater, which is a week from tomorrow is November 1st. So we get to start. I mean, obviously you can start it whenever you want, but officially that starts our November fiber challenge. Nani Swimo's knit a sweater in a month for November. So that will be November's fiber challenge. But so I really want to be done. I didn't make a ton of progress this week, but last night I got some done. I went to the Bay Area Knitting Guild's business meeting, and I knit during that. So I got a little bit done. And yeah, so I would like to finish this. Am I being too? I know if I have enough time, I can finish it, but I'm hoping to get this finished before next weekend so that I can start my Swan sweater and be free and clear and not have too much anxiety about all these different projects going on, which is why I thought about maybe just sticking to a wholly orange foot on this rather than doing more of the bats. But I don't know. We'll see what happens between now and the half hour that it takes me to finish up this heel as to what I decide. Because like I said, Bo already has put in his request for his next pair of socks, which is he wants stripes or, like color blocks of Cavendish, nautical wheelers, and slate in a pair of socks. He really likes that. Kind of like what Michelle did here when she cranked up socks for me. Now she's got, sweet cherry pie in there, but he basically wants the slate, nautical wheelers, and Cavendish in chunks like what she did here. And he wants a longer sock. Well, I can't really complain about that. I like a longer sock myself. I don't know what it is. I just do. But that's what he wants. So I've got to get on it. Plus, I have a hat to knit. I have a month to get a hat knit for my stepdaughter's boyfriend because I promised him way back in March of this year that I would knit him a hat. Do you think I have done it yet? No. But it's going to be an early Christmas present. So I got to get going on that too. So who knows? That I might be doing an easier foot on my sock so that I can just get them done. All right. So anyway, just a reminder, here's what I'm doing for the Shawn sweater. I'm holding burnt butter with, what did I decide? Is that nautical wheelers? I think that's nautical wheelers that I'm holding with it. And I got to block that. So I'll block that this week. I think based on my preliminary measurements, I'm pretty spot on with my gauge swatch. So, but I'm going to block it this week and make sure. And then, yeah, because I want to be ready to cast on next Saturday. So speaking of which, if you are wanting to make a sweater of any variety, whether you want to do the Shawn or not, then let me know if you need a special order. I'll get it whipped out in a hurry. I don't have anything new in the shop because as I was telling my Dying to Knit people, I have been whipping out the Christmas Advent colorways. There are 4 If y'all remember, if you ordered it, you get 4 sock sets, one for each Advent Sunday. And that starts, I believe, the last Sunday in November. So, which means I have to get it done and shipped out quickly to make sure everybody has it. So I've been working on that this week, and yeah, love the colors. Very excited about that. So I hope you all will be too. Sue says, Faded Blues is from Soxy U January. I thought maybe it was a Soxy U colorway. Okay, I'm going to have to whip that back out and maybe do something with that, because that's a good color. See, I have all these good colors that I need to whip them back out. Okay. And then Diane, you don't see the bats on the foot as it will be in your shoes anyway. So maybe just the plain orange foot. See, yeah, I agree. I do like, if I, wear them around the house, sure, it'd be great to see the bats, but you see the bats on the leg. So yeah, I may not. And I almost wish now, if I had known I was going to do that, that I would have maybe done a black heel, but I could always do I could do the orange foot and then a black toe. And then who knows what I'll come up with for the next sock, because you know how I get about having twinsies. I apparently don't like them. No twinsies for me. I shouldn't say that. I would definitely take twinsies, but I tend to like to mix things up. All right, important announcements. I got the next 2 weekends off. I think Bo is going to take me to a little Halloween craft market that's, I don't know, it's like a mile from here at a local church that I happened to see on Facebook events. And I said, I might want to go there. So I think we're going to go there. And yeah, other than that, I plan on getting some reading in, some relaxing, some knitting, all the things, recharging the system. Yep. I've got, by the way, some, just to let you know what's coming. I have 3 color palettes for Christmas colorways that will be going in the shop. And so I'm excited about that. Plus, I've got a few one-offs. That's another thing. It was funny. Karen was giving me a hard time. Not a hard time. She was teasing me. Apparently, my catchphrase is, that'll be going back in the pots. When I don't like a colorway or it's not quite what I had envisioned, going back in the pots. And anyway, so yeah, so I've got some one-offs. So just keep an eye out for those, and I'll announce them next week right here. Plus, like I said, we've got 2 giveaway winners to announce next week. I don't remember what the prize for the Triagonal shawl is. Is that a $50 gift card maybe? I'll look at my post and see what I promised to give away for that. Diane, black toe or heel would be great. Yeah, I think so too. I definitely will do. I'm thinking a black toe will just be spot on. Perfect. Let's see. So then after those 2 weeks, I will be at the Alabama Fiber Festival, and that's 14th and 15th in Birmingham. And Bo has a friend from England, and I think his favorite football team or what is Birmingham. And so he's always saying it seems weird to say Birmingham now, because he's always hearing Birmingham in the ear. So we tend to say Birmingham, and his brother lives there. So Bo's brother lives in Birmingham. So we'll get to visit with him when we go up. So I think we're going to go up a day early to see him. Hey, Linda, I was talking about you earlier about your DK socks. So you'll have to go back or let us know what pattern you use. Because I know in your post, you said something about your toes were a little short. So I was just curious what pattern you used. And then just so y'all know, the week of Thanksgiving, I'll be out of town. Bo and I we've kind of made it an annual thing now. We love to go to Nashville. We love that area. So we'll be in Nashville visiting his daughter and having a grand old time. We've been watching the weather, just so you know. And right now it's looking pretty chilly. So we're very excited about this. Hoping it continues. And if I'm really good and monogamous, then on my knitting, then hopefully, who knows, maybe I'll get my sweater done. I've gotten a ranunculus done in 2 weeks before. So you never know. You never know. I realize that It may not be probable, but it is possible that I'll get it done. All right. And then after that, for the rest of the year, December 6th, that's the first Saturday in December, I will be doing a trunk show at Knitcessities in Orlando. Would love to see local people there. And so that's in Orlando. The week after that, the second weekend in December, I will be at the Tampa Fiber Conference, having a booth there as well. So that is, I don't know that I've put that in the newsletter. So that is being put on by the Tampa Hooked on Crochet group is their name. I just met Sarah. And I don't want to misquote her, but I believe she's kind of the leader of that group and organizer. And I just met her a couple weekends ago over in Tampa. Wonderful people, I have to say. I knew right away. You know how sometimes you meet people and you just know, like they have got their act together. And she just struck me as, okay, she knows what she's doing. Her emails back and forth were prompt. And I love working with people like that, I have to tell you. So I'm super excited about that. They have, so that particular day, they have 4 workshops in the morning and 4 workshops in the afternoon, and you choose one from each. And there's like a $49 fee, but you get lunch included, and then 1 workshop morning and 1 afternoon. It looks like it's going to be a great event. I'll put it in the newsletter next week, but you can also find it on the front page of my website. And there's a link to the meetup page where you can buy your ticket to go if you're interested in that. So Linda, it was the Fearless DK weight socks by, Denise DeSantis. Oh, that's, what is her YouTube name? She's the one that she's my go-to for the shadow wrap heel that I don't need anymore because she taught me so well. Why can't I not think of her name? Anyway, okay. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to have to go look at that pattern. I know I had a vanilla DK pattern that I used for my first time around just to figure out like how many stitches I needed to cast on and then like, how to work the toe. So I'll go look at it and see. Oh, yes. Thank you. I knew it. Earth Tones Girl. I knew you knew it. Earth Tones Girl. Yeah, she's great on YouTube. She has all the things. She also has a book that Donna, I think it was you that was showing me a book at the Common Thread from her. And it has all sorts of things, helpful things. And it kind of, believe Donna said it's a little bit geared towards beginners, but the book is very cool in that what I want it for, I'm thinking I might have to get it, is that it has instructions on the shadow wrap heel. Like if you drop a double, your twin or triple stitch, which I have done. Of course I have done it. Of course I have. And I just kind of jumbled and picked it up the best that I could. But she apparently tells you how to pick it up and fix it. Excuse me. Sorry, making a mess. And I was like, I need that book. So I may have to go look it up. All right. I think that's it. Hey, if you have, for some strange reason, never subscribed, please do. It helps me. Y'all know, by the way, but don't let me forget this. Very important. Well, let me back up. Sorry. I'm just going down this rabbit hole, that rabbit hole. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps me. And I know some people don't like to leave comments. I totally get that. I'm actually an introvert, if you don't believe me. It's true. And so if I didn't have to put myself out there, I probably wouldn't. But if you're willing, whatever you're willing to do, it does help me. Leave comments, likes, all of that stuff helps me in terms of the algorithm, helps other people find me, find us. And which reminds me, next week, y'all, will have been a year for Swan City Yarns. So please join me next week. I have a fun little announcement, something that I'm going to do again that I've done before. Hey, Deb, so glad you're here. You do have her book. Awesome, Linda. That's amazing. Sorry, I thought I got coffee on my glasses. So where was I going with that? Yeah, so be sure to tune in next week at some point. You don't have to watch live. You can always come back later and watch, because you'll see the announcement there too. What I'm doing to celebrate 1 year. I've got a little something, nothing huge, but a little something in store that I'm very excited about. I've been planning it for a while. So are we having a mystery? I don't know. What do y'all think? I could do a mystery colorway for 1 year. Should we? Color palette. I could come up with a color palette, and yeah. Hey, Star. That's like 3 or 4 people that have come on late. Y'all make me feel like I should hang around for a little bit. No, really. I think that's it. And I think I just heard Bo come in the door. Wow, he was in a timely fashion. So, yeah, I think that's it, though. Katrin says absolutely. Okay, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Billy. I'm so glad you're on here. Okay, I will do that. Give me, well, today's Friday. I got to run to the post office and then run to the grocery store. But I will pick a color palette and do a quick graphic. And yeah, we'll do a mystery colorway. I'm always up. I am always up for a mystery colorway. You want a mystery colorway? You just let me know. All right, everybody. I cannot tell y'all enough how much I appreciate you. This year has been, which I really should be saving this for next week, but this year has been a whirlwind. I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be more appreciative of you all. I'm not going to get all, but really, thank you. It means the world to me. All right. Y'all have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week, Friday at this time. All right. Bye, everybody.